And
Mhm.
so if we think of us as the CEO up here, our business is over here and our life is over here, and they intersect together. And those visions and missions need to align. It's that Venn diagram, right? And that
Mhm. Mhm.
interconnection where they connect together. They need to be aligned together. So we need to know that if I'm running my life, my purpose, what I do every day is in alignment with my business and aligns with what I am, who I am, what I'm doing, what's right for my family, what's right for my business.
Y'all, today's show is so good.
But number one, I've never seen an intro like that.
It is my hope and desire that not only will episode 30 still be fun, but episode 300 will be even more fun. You are made for something great, so go and be awesome.
Ten seconds remaining.
Welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings, and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, today's show is so good, primarily because of our amazing sponsor, Wilbron. Wilbron is Alabama's premier public relations firm. If y'all have any PR needs, definitely hit them up at www.wilbron.com. Y'all, today's guest is absolutely going to blow your socks off. Okay, get ready. Her name is Jaclyn Strominger. She is the driving force behind Leap to Your Success, which is an organization or company dedicated to empowering ambitious professionals to achieve unprecedented growth and fulfillment. With over 3 decades of expertise as a high achiever success coach, Jaclyn specializes in guiding individuals to harness their inner strength and drive strategic leaps in both business and life. Y'all put your hands together for Jaclyn. Hello.
Hey, Renee. Oh my God, I'm so great to be here. And such awesome energy. It's so contagious.
Well, I am so excited to have you here. I know, Jaclyn, you have been on so many stages and talked to so many people. The strategic alliances that you have created for the past years and years have led to so many companies get just jump starting their success and just reaching new heights. And so I am beyond thrilled that you said yes to little old me to come
Not
and
so little.
share.
You're pretty awesome yourself and pretty big.
Thank you for saying that. And our audience is definitely going to love every single thing that you have to say because everything is so golden. You have so many years of knowledge and wisdom to share for people who want to reach that next level. So maybe they've gotten some success and they're like stuck and they just can't really get to the next level. But before you dive into all of that and share with us the gray matter that is Jaclyn, that only Jaclyn has, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got started, why you're so passionate about this, and the rest of your journey?
Yeah. So thank you so much, Renee. So I am Jaclyn Strominger. I am a high achieving coach. And what I love to say is I love falling in love with my clients' business and them and helping them have rapid growth. But my journey started, and there's two little aha moments, maybe even three. But where it started was I was one of those people. We're in the corporate world. A lot of us have started in the corporate world. And I've when I first got into that corporate world and I graduated college and I'm like, yay, I just graduated from this awesome 4-year school and I got the job of my dreams. And then what? And I I was always searching and looking for that mentor, that person or thing that was going to be by my side to help me on a path. And I was always looking for it. And yes, I had a lot of it inside of me. So I'm working, I've got this great career it's going. And then I do a lot of the things that people want you to do, right? I got married and I have a great husband. I've got 2 amazing kids. But somewhere along the way, I remember I was at this company and there was 3 of us talking and somebody said to the other one of the women said to the other woman, "That's not going to be good for your career." And it's not going to help you. And I remember thinking to myself, "Oh my god, career. What is my career?" And I had always been so passionate about what I was doing. And even though I was always looking for that mentor, I always had that drive inside of me and looking for that, like going up to that next level and going up to that next level. And I realized I didn't have a next level. I didn't know what I wanted. I had stopped.
Mm.
I had, like, I was a mom, I had 2 kids, I was the VP of sales, I was in a company that I liked, but so what? Where was I going? And I had totally forgot about the career and where my what my passions were and where I wanted to go. And then a few days later, I'm driving my kids to school and it hit me again. It was like, what are we doing?
Right.
I'm like, where's the car's driving? I'm behind the wheel. Some of you may have been on this path, right? The car is moving forward. Thank God you're awake enough to make sure it's not going to hit somebody, but or thing. So I drop
Mhm.
my kids off at school, and I'm listening, and Katy Perry's song "Roar" comes on, and I'm just like, I'm not roaring. I need to get my roar back. I need to
Wow.
find my drive. I need to find, and it was in these 2 moments that I realized that I knew I had something better and greater within me. And I was a person that people would come to. I know that people wanted to hear that they could have this space where I am right now and take that feeling and take their life to the next level.
Right.
I just thought I knew I needed to do something else. So I went back to my office. I started writing out my mission. Was making a big vision. And it's not like I've not done this before. And it's not like I didn't do that every January 1st or December 31st, but I had never taken it to this level of total drive and really dreaming about what I wanted and mapping out a plan, a true plan to get there. And it was in this moment that I crafted the LEAP framework, which is level up your communication, E, which is energy. So the A for action and P for propel and performance. So I do spell leap with 2 P's, kind of. And it was in there, it was leveling up my communication, was really crafting and taking my vision and mission and making it and putting it into words that not only I could look at every single day, but that I knew that what I communicate to myself starts in my heart and goes to my head. And what we tell ourselves matters. We can tell ourselves that we believe and believe and believe, but we have to feel it at our heart. And when we don't put those 2 together, we're just inching along. And
Right.
so that vision and mission connection came together and coming up with what matters to me, my achievement code, what makes me and drives me forward. And then it was the energy. I'm a high energy person, but my energy had waned. And
Mm.
where was my energy? And what's the energy that I was putting out? Our vibe attracts our tribe. So if
Mhm.
we're not putting out that right energy, we're not going to attract the right people and the right things to us. So I really focused on the energy. What did I want the world to see? And then I started putting those action plans in together. And then I do what I always love to say. We started measuring performance. It's MMA. We MMA our business. We MMA our lives. Measure, monitor, just like MMA. We're gonna fight for. We gotta fight. We measure. And so I put this all together. And Renee, I will tell you, it's this was the it was the catalyst that just started making us go like this.
Wow.
And I got when you have a vision and mission, you have to bring the people into it, as whether it's your family, your company. I brought my family into it. We ended up, I'm an East Coast girl. I'm living in Reno, Nevada. And we moved from Massachusetts to Reno in 8 weeks.
Wow.
And I got here, and we got here on a Wednesday. The moving truck showed up a little bit late, but somehow or another on Friday, I ended up going to my first connection event to meet people, to let them know that Jaclyn Strominger and Leap to Your Success was in the house. And I
There you
back.
go.
And I have not looked back. And
That is awesome. Like, we are here, we are kicking butt and taking names. Come
yeah.
with us.
And let me tell you, you're gonna know that we are here.
I love it. I love it. I love the intentionality. I love your mission. I love the vision. I love, and for the L, leveling up your communication, so critical as you're growing, as you're developing, as you're scaling. If people don't know what it is that you're trying to do, what's the point of even trying to do it? You got to communicate. You got to communicate, and you got to communicate to the right people who can either do something about it or help you do something about it.
Correct. And the other part is what I see a lot, both with people and companies, is that companies start for a reason. And you, as the founder of a company, you have a vision and a mission. And then what sometimes happens is that we write out this vision and we write out the mission. And then we've written it down on a piece of paper. And then what do?
Put it in a drawer.
Close the book, right? And we don't look at it. But that
Yeah.
vision and mission is actually what drives you and your company. It drives your culture.
Right.
It starts here, and it has to trickle down to the people that you're bringing in. You have to catch the momentum and the vibe, and people that are coming in have to get that mission and the communication and leveraging that, so that when they're bringing people on, as you get to grow,
Yeah.
it keeps fostering down and we don't forget about it. Now, the one thing that I always like to say to people, though, is that, and remind people, is when you write your mission statement and your vision today is today. It
Mhm.
doesn't, it's not something that you write and it doesn't go into stone and that's it. It needs to evolve. We're
Right.
always moving it. It's fluid. So as you grow, it can change. And it's okay to change. We have to know that it's okay to change and pivot. But
That's right.
but the key that stays with it is your achievement code. What matters to you, your values. What are you bringing? What do you want your clients, your customers, your family? What's those values that you want to keep?
Right.
Those
Absolutely. And so just so to make sure that I understand correctly, or something that you said resonated with me when you were talking about who you have as part of as you're growing in your mission and your vision, and having that clear, being very crystal clear about what that is, yet remaining fluid so that it can evolve as you're growing and as you're developing. And so one of the things that it makes me think about is how important it is to, as you're growing and evolving and having this mission statement, knowing what decisions to make regarding your business. That's where that comes into play, because if you don't have a mission and you have to make a decision about something, how do you know what the right decision is if you don't know what your mission is?
right.
Right? So your mission and your vision and your values help you with your decision-making process that you have to go through on a daily basis. Is this in alignment with what my vision is? Is this in alignment with where I want to go? Is this a good use of these funds to support where I'm trying to get to? Or is this not? How is this going to help me and our business grow to the next level
Yep.
if this decision is not in alignment with where the mission, the vision is that we have
Yes.
already shared.
Yeah, and that's so key, right? And to that same point, Renee, it's the decisions that you're making and the actions that you perform every day.
Right.
So, are the activities that you are doing in line with your vision and your mission and the goals that you want to achieve? And this is
Right.
where I always say to people, this is where becoming the CEO of you really matters. You need to know who you are. And if we become the CEO of ourselves, right? We
Mhm.
start with our vision and our mission right here. It starts right here on the top of us, right? And
Mhm.
so if we think of us as the CEO up here, our business is over here and our life is over here, and they intersect together. And those visions and missions need to align. It's that Venn diagram, right? And that
Mhm.
interconnection where they connect together. They need to be aligned together. So we need to know that if I'm running my life, my purpose, what I do every day is in alignment with my business and aligns with what I am, who I am, what I'm doing, what's right for my family, what's right for my business. But it starts where we need to look at our lives as we're the CEO of our life.
That's
We've
right.
got to run it that way and think of it. And it's how do you work with your family as a family? With your family, you got to be the CEO of your family. So they're CEO of you.
And there's, I'm sure, that mutual respect too, because you are the CEO of your life and you are the CEO of this business and you are the CEO of you, and they are there to support you. And they have no problem doing that because they know that collectively, together, you all are going to be high achievers. You're
Yeah.
all going to go to the next level together. So it makes it easy when everyone is the CEO of themselves, because I'm sure that as your family knows what their role and responsibility is, if they are the CEO of themselves, they're going to operate in excellence in their lane.
Yeah.
And everyone operating in excellence in their lane is a collection of excellences.
Right.
You all great together.
Yeah. And it's actually what's really amazing about that. And I love helping people really take a look. It's like being able to take charge of your life and your business. And we talk about, a lot of times we talk about balance or like the work life and the home life. It's really our life. And
Right.
how do we make those two work well together?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
when we get to do that, it helps us really focus on what do we want, because so many of us, if you're running a company, we want to make sure that the people that you're bringing in, that your mission as a company aligns with your employees' mission, and that their values and their achievement code are in alignment, and that with what they're doing is aligning with where they want to be in their life, and how are they being that CEO of themselves, and how are they working in with your company. It really helps keep companies focused on the right people, the right activities, the right decisions.
Absolutely, 100%. And we had in our last month's live panel of men, it was Man Month because it was June, month of Father's Day. And so we had several just really powerhouse men on a panel for the live show. And one of them really stressed the importance of ensuring that whoever you bring on your team aligns with your vision, aligns with your values,
Yes.
because it will quickly erode what you are trying to create if it doesn't line up. It's got to line up. And
Yep.
so they can have their values, and if they're not the same as yours, they've just basically made themselves known that this is just not a good fit. It's just not a good fit, and that they need to do themselves a favor and separate from your
Right.
company so
Right.
that they can do what matters most to them and what feels good to them and what drives them and the things that they value, if it's not in alignment with where you are and where you want to go with the business.
Yep.
So
It's
that
so
was one of
true.
the most key takeaways that I remembered from that
Yeah.
session. So hearing you say that reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Your values matter, and you can still be true to yourself, and that will help you determine which way you need to go, what company you need to be aligned with, what decisions you need to make, and that sort of thing.
And it helps you as a business. It also helps you pick and choose the people that you want to partner with, the other companies that you want within your business. It All of those things matter. And again, it all starts with the L, that vision, the mission, and the communication that you share with yourself and your achievement code that you want to live by and you want your
Right.
company to live by.
Absolutely. It's so important, so critical. And that part, who you are, I don't think that changes. Like who you are at your core, that doesn't change. Even though the mission may change or may flux and there may still be some nimbleness about that, your values don't.
Correct.
Like,
Right. Your values don't. And you hear people say this a lot of times too, and it matters. Obviously, when the values that you teach your family and you have to your kids is what you obviously want to teach. But
right.
as a business and a business owner and the CEO or anybody in a profession and you're in a hiring position, we always remember that we cannot teach character.
Ooh,
Cannot.
hold on. You need to say that loud for the people in the back. Like for real, for real.
You cannot remember, you cannot teach character. Okay. You cannot teach character. That's something, but you can teach people to do the work. You can mold people to do the job at hand and you can teach them, but you can't teach character. Character is something that it's what is making you, and you have to decide if the people that are making up that person, if it's aligned with you. And I read this once and I thought this was like one of the best tips for if anybody is looking at trying to figure out a way, what's a good way to judge people's character? It's find something that really is like a pet peeve of yours. Like something that is, and what can you do to see if somebody is going to, are they going to align with you, or is that pet peeve going to come out? And so one example was a gentleman, whenever they would interview at this company, they would offer people a drink, right? So you have got a cup, and if I take the cup and I drink from it, at the end of the interview, what do I do with my cup?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do I say, "Oh, can I go back to the kitchen and put it away?" Or what may I do with this? Where's your depending upon how it got to you. Do you ask them? Do I be like, what happens with the cup?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I just leave it on the table and walk out? To me, that is a great way. It's, do you put the cart back when you go to the grocery store, or do you push it on top of the curb?
Right.
Which one are you?
What kind of person are you? I love that. I love that. There's a company here in Atlanta that's based here, and their interview process, they do something similar. Like they'll invite you into a room and maybe drop something on the floor just to see if you'll pick it up. You know?
It's a judge of character, right? Like,
Mhm.
how are you as a person? Do you care enough about the other people enough? Do you have that empathy? Do you believe that no matter what position you're in, we always have to dig in?
Right. Or do you have more of a servant's heart? Or are
Right,
you a server? Do you put others above you
right.
and think less of your not think less of yourself, but are humble enough
Yeah,
to serve? Or
right,
are you too good to pick up the paper?
right.
Yeah.
And so just having some way to judge that character, and that's why I love that little pet peeve. Like, to me, if you have a pet peeve that you can, it's like putting the shoes away, right? Or,
Mhm.
they all
Mhm.
matter. And it's just a great way to see where people are.
Exactly. And is that a deal breaker? I guess that would be my next question. Is that a deal breaker? Or should you just overlook that and just, hmm, maybe it's a red flag. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a yellow flag. Do you know what I mean?
So,
What kind of flag should it be?
so I personally I think it's a deal breaker. Like, because if that is something that really matters to you, this is where your values come in. And this is where bringing people in to your fold, if that's something that they don't do, it's a deal breaker. They're not in alignment. It's a test of alignment. It's thank you very much for this interview. Well, somebody will be in touch. But
I love
it
I love it. Yeah.
it's there. So I always say that is a deal breaker.
Good.
You know,
I agree. We are right here.
yeah,
I agree with you 100% because when people show you who they are, believe them.
right. They're not gonna, I hate to say it, but they're, again, you cannot change and teach character. Somebody might change, but if it's not really at their core as to who they are, yes, people can evolve over time. But it's, if you're thinking about your business, do you want to be spending time teaching somebody character or teaching them how to do the job?
Exactly. Hopefully do the job
Right.
because the character is already in alignment. And if they do change, if they change their ways,
Right.
it's mainly to appease you because it's something that you've asked to be done, but
Right.
it's not in them. It's not at their core. So they've shown you this is not me and not a part of who I am, but I'll do it for you so you'll get off me. Quit nagging
Right.
when they tell you the first time.
Yeah.
That's what the truth is of who they
Yeah.
are.
Exactly.
It's so funny, so funny. So when we're thinking about being the CEO of you and you empower professionals with this mindset, that is so critical to getting their mind right so they can think about what their future could look like.
Mhm.
So moving from that point, then what is the strategy or a key strategy or mindset shift that you've noticed that so many people might need to be taught to achieve significant professional or personal growth?
So I, I don't want this to sound cliche, but I think it's, and people may have it's heard a lot, but I think it's really important to get people to shift their mindset about where they want to be. You have to take pen to paper and you have to write down what your mantra is. And I have a really great formula that I walk my clients through to help them come up with their personal mission statement. And then you need to write that down and you need to look at it every day and you need to read it every day. You need to say it to yourself every day. Like I have written on my wall, I have, who can I help today turn passion into profit? My
Love
mission is I like helping people have that passion and have them bring it to fruition so that they're profiting from it. And profit is not, passion and profit are not always what we think it is. Passion is not, oh, I'm really interested in cooking. No, it's what is driving you? What's the force that makes you? What are your superpowers? What are you
that.
passionate about in life? And how can you bring out the best? And the profitability, it's not always financial. It's what's filling your cup. How do you wake up every day feeling really good that you can do anything?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
we,
what is that? What is that? Each person has to do that self analysis, that self introspection to see what is that? What wakes me up? What gets my juices going?
right,
What's filling my cup every single day? And for us, for me, and the business that I run, it's just the idea of helping more people and by improving their quality of life. That's what we do. That's at the core of Executive Help Now. That's our business. We improve the quality of life for our clients
right.
by lightening their load so that they are not overwhelmed, they're not stressed out, they're leaving the office at a decent hour, they're not missing their kids' games anymore. All those things, that's what we get to do. And that
And it's
fuels.
beautiful. And that is, Renee, what you guys do is so important, particularly for CEOs and business professionals and entrepreneurs. We are doing everything. We are doing so much of it, right? But what I love being able to do is helping people decide and figure out, how am I going to create action plans so that I can go up to that next level and take that amazing passion inside of me and bring it out to the rest of the world. And sometimes it's having to find out what that is. and we have to dig really deep, and helping people really get into really believing in themselves and understand that they can do it. I speak to so many CEOs and entrepreneurs and professionals who get to a point they're just like, can I go to that next level? How do
Right.
I get there? Can I do it? Or I've been here for so long, I don't know. I don't feel like I can get to that. I'm at 8 million. How do I get to 10? I've been at 8 million for 5 years and I just can't seem to break the code. Okay, let's dig deep and let's
Right.
look at that plan and the path and what have we been doing and what do we need to MMA? But we need
Mhm.
to dig in and pull out that passion because somewhere along the way, maybe that passion has fallen off and that zest and the zeal for the company and for what you do, maybe it's waned.
Mm. Mhm.
How do we
Right.
bring that out? How do we bring that out? And then how
Right.
do we again share that with the rest of your team so that they catch it too?
And that's what's key because your team is basically going to follow you.
Mhm.
And if you follow them down a path that is not the direction where you're supposed to be going, then you're like, it's like the blind leading the blind. So when you find your passion and you are able to express your passion, it's contagious.
Yes.
It's just contagious. And people want to go with you. They want to do whatever it takes so that you can reach that next level.
Yep.
But I think one of the key mindset shifts that some people might need to make too is that they need to recognize that they are worthy of
Yes.
having more. It's okay for you to have more, especially if you bootstrapped your business from nothing or you come from a very poor family and the whole relationship that you have with money or
Yes.
material things, that could be a whole generational curse that needs to be broken.
Yeah, it's okay to we need to break that, and that's where it's like and that's where figuring out what is that thing that's holding you back from going from A to B. Maybe it is the money part. Maybe it's your relationship with money. Maybe it's the I've been doing this part for so long and I just can't seem to get it. Or I've been doing I feel like I've been following a plan, but now I'm stuck. It's getting people to think we need to shift what we're doing and it might
Mhm.
not be a lot. Maybe just take what we're doing and change it up a bit. It's like going to the gym, right? You could lift 10-pound weights all the time, and you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, oh my God, my biceps are awesome. And then you're going to keep doing that and doing that. And then all of a sudden you're like, my biceps aren't getting any bigger. Why is that? Because you're still at the
Right,
10-pound weights. So you
right.
got to shift and you got to add, maybe go up to 12 or go to 15. So what are you doing? What is it? What pressure are you putting on? Maybe pressures isn't the right word, but what is that little bit of change that you are putting in your business to make the shift?
And you know what? I think pressure is a good word because it's that pressure that's going to move you from one level to the next.
Yeah.
Without some pressure, like you said, you're going to end up with flabby biceps.
Right.
You stay at that 10-pound weight. You need the
Right.
pressure. You
Right.
need the opportunity to stretch and to do something more or to do something more, do something different than what you've already been doing. Because
Yep.
what is the saying? If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. You've got to apply the pressure to
Yep.
get to the next level. Because then not only does that stretch you, it builds your character. It
Yep.
builds your resilience. It builds your trust in whoever you or whatever you put faith in. It all of those things can't happen without opportunity
Yes.
for that to happen. And for you saying yes to that.
And what you just said about opportunity is so important because I think that's also one thing that people tend to overlook.
Mm,
Sometimes we we need that reminder that any time that we have a little bit life is not a straight line up. So it's movement, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
there's you can some people call it the roller coaster. You can look at the stock market and it's highs and lows. It's the top of the wave, it's the trough of the wave, whatever you want to call it. But when
right.
we're down here, we have that's where the grit and knowledge and learning comes, and we can take that and then we start to go up. But
Yeah.
part of that is that when we're there, we have to remember that down part, that's where opportunity is knocking, right?
Yes. Absolutely, 100%. I love the way you talk about the dips and the valleys, the hills and the valleys and the waves and that sort of thing, because it's in that low part where you develop intestinal fortitude.
Yes.
You find out how strong you are. And if you can envision this, and you're going up the hill, up the mountain to the next peak. If you're a ropes climber and you're having to pull yourself up on a rope, you're going to need some core strength to get up there. And so it's in that valley where you develop that core strength to get up the mountain.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I love it.
You're welcome. So I actually I shared this with my client this morning. We were talking about the growth that she's having and the momentum that she's actually catching. And I said to her, we all are on that staircase, right? And the staircase is going up. But what's really interesting, as we keep working our business and as we're consistent, and that's the other key thing, is that I work with my clients on that consistency, is as we're consistent in our activities that we're doing, the steps, they're big when we start. And then as we go up the staircase, yes, the curve can change, but the size of the steps also changes. They go from big steps to smaller steps, and then you can go faster.
That's right. You can
skip steps too, right?
But yeah, you still got to climb them though. That's the thing.
Right.
Still got to climb them. But when you've gone through it so many times, like you've been there, done that so many times, it's been here, done that. I can do that. Overcome. It's nothing now. It's skipping steps.
And the one thing that I also like to share though is that sometimes you've been there, you've done that, and sometimes you get to that point where, do I really want to do it again? And that's where we need to always go back to our vision and our mission. Are you still in alignment with that vision and the mission? And so that's where, again, just bringing it back to being like the CEO of you and your business and your life. We're always going to have those highs and lows. It's just whether or not you want to come back to, again, what your vision and your mission is that helps you keep going.
That's right. That's right. Like, how big is it? How big is your why? That's what people all talk about a lot, is your why.
Right.
What drives you? What keeps getting you up every single morning? How big is it? And yeah. And so when your vision and your mission, and you ask yourself that question, is it worth going through again? Hopefully the answer is always going to be yes.
Right.
Because we haven't gotten where you want to get yet.
But also know that if it's not, right? Guess what? That's okay too. You can decide, you know what, maybe there's somebody else that I need to bring in to partner with, or maybe there's something that I need to do to help me bring that back, to help catch that momentum. And the beauty is in the change. And I love the saying, you cannot spell challenge without change.
Oh.
Think about how you spell challenge.
Okay, put it up there on the screen, y'all.
You cannot spell challenge without change, because you can't. There's the change is in the word challenge,
Right,
so.
exactly. I love it. You are absolutely right. I'm a visual person. So yes, you are. I'm looking at the words right there. You are absolutely right. I love it. Thank you guys. It's so true. And there are going to be ups and downs and hills and valleys and challenges that lead to change, but it's the necessary change that helps build you and strengthen you. And also, I love how you talked about the importance of figuring out what it takes to get unstuck. Does that mean you need to invite some more people into your life to help lighten your load, or to give you some wisdom and guidance on how to navigate this particular phase of life that you're going through in this business or personally or whatever? So there's solutions and strategies for getting out of it and still continuing to go to that next level. You don't have to stay where you are, because the longer you stay where you are, the more detrimental it is to you personally, physically, emotionally, mentally, the whole thing. Can work against you as you start to try to drive forward again, or start climbing higher again.
Yeah. And it's one of the biggest things people always ask, that question about how do we get unstuck, It's taking a look. Again, we've talked about this. It's where do you want to be? What's driving you? Whether it's your why, vision, mission, but sometimes we need to take that step back and say, okay, I know I can do this. I believe I need to change. I have it in me. I know I can do this. And
Mhm.
it's having that person who is by your side that's says, guess what? You can. Let's define what you want. Let's really make what you want something that you can see. And
Mhm.
yeah, find the tribe, your person,
Yeah,
and they will help. Who's helping you drive that energy, and you'll catch the energy again.
exactly. And I love that it doesn't always have to be you, the entrepreneur, you, the business person, doing the driving.
Correct.
You said you got to sit down and rest. Let somebody else do something for a while
Yeah.
that still keeps you on the trajectory of where you want to go. It's okay. It absolutely is okay. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So I cannot believe we are running out of time, Jaclyn. This has been such an amazing conversation, but I know you've got some things coming up. I
Yep.
definitely want to provide an opportunity for you to talk to us about that. And we definitely want to stay in touch with you after today's show. So tell us what's going on and what's coming up.
I've got some amazing things happening. I'm so excited, actually. So, a couple things. One is an amazing retreat in the stunning and most amazing Lake Tahoe. It is Ignite Your Boldness, Awaken Your Potential, Drive Your Future. And at this retreat, yes, we are going to get to nature. We are going to really dive into our achievement code. We are going to absolutely take a look at where we're going from September to December, and then we're going to plan out 2025.
I
And
love it.
we're whoever is at this retreat is going to be pampered. It's luxurious. They're going to get headshots. They're going to get a makeover. We're going to have lifestyle pictures, amazing food. We've got chefs coming in to cook us dinners. It is just
Nice.
going to be amazing, but more than anything, transformational for our attendees. And it's a select group. We've got 8 spots available. So this is a small tribe people that are coming to this. So we've got the retreat happening in September in Lake Tahoe. And then I have an amazing networking. The Missing Link Network is coming out. So there's some awesome things happening, but this retreat is going
Yeah.
to be super special.
Yeah, that's going to definitely be life-changing for sure. And we have it pulled up on the screen here too, where that goes into a little bit more detail of what the plans are, how to inspire your boldness and really get locked in, laser focused on your future and put a plan in place. Not just for 2025, but you start now. In September.
Yeah, right.
There's still a whole nother quarter. We're only in the second half of the year.
Yeah.
So we still got time to make some significant changes
And
before 2025.
yeah, so take a look at this, register, join us. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I always like to offer, if you have any bit of question on your vision and mission, I do a complimentary call, and people can jump in to grab a complimentary call with me. It's a fast track strategy session. And if you go to my website, leaptoyoursuccess.com, there is the Unstoppable Achievers Journal, which will pop up. And you can actually register to grab that. And it is a digital journal that should be popping up. And so you get the Unstoppable Achievers Journal, and it walks you through mission and vision and crafting a huge part of what we've talked about, that big L part. And then you get a call.
Nice. I love it. Love it. Love it. And I love your website.
Thank you.
It's really great. Yeah. And there's a whole community of unstoppable achievers.
Yeah.
So I love that. It's fantastic. And there's the journal, the Unstoppable Achievers Journal, and it's an interactive newsletter.
Yeah.
So that's unique. Very clever. So
Yes.
love it. Love it.
I love helping people just, again, get to that next level. It's that 1% change, right? It's what can you do that's going to put you 1% further, because that 1 degree, that 1% can make all the difference.
That's right. That's right. 100%. And I love how you made it, you brought it back to reality. Like even 1% of whatever it is that we're striving for. Maybe it's a 1% change in the number of connections you make on a weekly basis.
Yep.
Maybe it's a 1% change in the number of phone calls you make, or whatever it might look like. 1% is definitely doable. And if we keep on looking at that 1% change on a regular basis and continuing to consistently drive those baby steps,
Yep.
we can move mountains.
It's, Renee, that is so true. And it is, and it's the baby steps that we take, as you just shared, that lead to enormous results.
Absolutely. Consistent baby steps.
Yes. Great. I should say that help us leap to the greatest success.
That's right. That's right. I love it. See, teamwork. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I know you shared with us your website. Is that the best way to reach you, or are you on
That's the way.
social? How do we stay in touch?
Go to my website. That's one leap to your success. But also you can find me on all the socials. I'm Jaclyn Strominger on Facebook. I'm Jaclyn Strominger on Instagram. I am Jaclyn Strominger on LinkedIn. I am Jaclyn Strominger everywhere.
Google her.
Right. If you Google me, you'll find it everywhere. But the other, and I do have a Facebook page, which is the Leap to Your Success. But YouTube, I'm everywhere. Just find me, follow me. I do trainings on my website and my Facebook group. So you can always just connect to me right there at leaptoyoursuccess.com.
Love it, love it, love it. So in parting, since we are at time, do you have any final words of wisdom, final piece of advice for our audience today, for them to become the CEO of themselves?
Yeah. So to become the CEO of yourself, I always say, take the time to reflect on really where you want to be and where you want to go. We don't know life brings us lots of different changes. So it's not necessarily where you want to be in 5 years, but if you took a vision and you close your eyes, like, how do you want people to think of you? And how do you want to leave people after they meet you? And that's the person that you need to become.
I love that. That hits me like right here. Right here. I love it. How do you want to leave people when you leave someone's presence? How do you want them to feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. Jaclyn, you were made for something great. So go and be awesome.